You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. As Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. All right, folks, my next guest constantly stays roasted on social media. In fact, if Comedy Central threw one of their celebrity roasts, it would probably take a week to hold it versus a couple of hours. This is the tweet I woke up to this morning that folks were all over. Terry Crews tweeted this out this morning. If you are a child of God, you are my brother and sister. I have family of every race, creed, and ideology. We must ensure Black Lives Matter. It doesn't morph into Black Lives Better. Lord, that set people off. Here are some of the folks who responded to Terry Crews. Y'all go ahead and pull those tweets up, please. Do we have them? Okay. Bernice King, we're so far from that bridge, Terry. Black Lives Matter is in part a rallying cry and a protest slogan to galvanize people into doing the justice work needed to derail the deaths, dehumanization, and destruction of Black lives that racism causes. Justice is not a competition. Next, please. Robinson Peete, another sleepless night thinking about Elijah McClain, and I woke up worrying about how to prevent my sweet, special son from meeting a similar fate, and you woke up worried about checks, tweet again, Black Lives Better. We're aiming for equal, going back to sleep. Y'all got one more? Keith Boykin, in 1883, Supreme Court claimed the Civil Rights Act will make black people the special favorite of the laws. In 2020, Terry Crews warned that Black Lives Matter will morph into Black Lives Better. Demanding black equality is not black supremacy. Got one more? And D.L. Hughley, I think Terry Crews must have flexed his pecs too hard and knocked something loose. Hashtag Team DL. Terry Crews joins us right now. So, Terry, so you just, I mean, has your publicist just driven to the house and stolen your phone?
You know, you got to understand, Roland, I've been getting this since I was 13 years old. I had a lot of questions. I've always asked questions, and I was always told to shut up. I grew up in an all-black community in Flint, Michigan, the whole thing, and it was like, why are you talking like that? Why are you even questioning what is going on? And I have to. First of all, if I didn't question it, if I just took everything that everybody ever gave me, I'd still be in Flint. And the thing is, and I agree with Miss Bernice King, you know what I mean, that this is a bridge that's far, far away. But before this tweet, everybody told me it was impossible. You got to understand, what's so wild is that they feel like, and this is what I'm talking about. Look, black supremacy and this moral superiority is something that people feel like can't happen in the black community. And I'm just here to say that, you know, I was watching the BET, or I didn't watch it. Actually, I heard about it because people were telling me about how, you know, I wasn't invited and the whole thing. And I just thought, man, because I have another view, and I thought as a black people, we must be allowed to have other views. Another thing, even with Hughley Robinson, she's bringing up Elijah McClain. First of all, me and Elijah McClain have so much in common. You know what I mean? I would have been this, you know, what they call a corny black nerd who tried to make everything happen and get along. And let me tell you something. What's so wild is that our community, you have to be one way. You have to be swinging and punching and fighting. And I'm not that dude. I've always been this corny dude who's asking tons of questions, and I want people to know it's okay. It's okay. And first of all, I love my people. I love Black Lives Matter. But I also feel at this moment in time, you mentioned this is like a third Reconstruction, and that this Reconstruction has to include every voice in America, the Native American, the Asian, the Hispanic, the white, everybody has to be included. And what happens, though, is if you exclude these people and say, hey, you know what, this is our movement, this is our time, you know what happens? Resentment builds. And resentment really, really breeds a self-righteous, you know, it's kind of like a self-righteousness that's really, really dangerous, man. Yeah, first of all, can we have power? Well, all I'm saying is in your mind, we are talking about social and economic and political answers to a spiritual problem. If we don't get this right now, spiritually, we are going to be all in this thing all over again, battling. And I don't want to go from one oppressor to the next. First of all, I was never scared of the KKK growing up. Never. You know what I was scared of? I was scared of that gang member. I was scared of that drug dealer. And I had to walk through to get to my school every day that I had to fight to get in and try to make it work. And let me tell you something, that's millions and millions of black kids right now who scared to speak, scared to say what's up in their own community.
But Terry,
and go ahead.
But
I don't want to interrupt you.
No. But here's what we're looking at. In this moment, it's not that we don't bring others along. If we go back to the point of the third Reconstruction, the reality is ball don't lie. When you look at the economic numbers, when you look at the health numbers, coronavirus, COVID-19 has exposed the health inequities in this country, the two systems. And so what we're dealing with right now is the fact that you have black folks and you now have white allies who are standing with black folks who are saying this stuff has to change. So it's not black supremacy. It's saying that we are so far down the economic ladder, the health ladder, the housing ladder, all the categories, that these things have to change. And white America is going to have to recognize that it's always been about them and it can't keep being all about them.
I totally agree with you there. But there's also the Booker T. Washington approach, where there are things that we know we have to correct. You understand what I mean? I think sometimes we as black people are more concerned with how we look as opposed to how we are. Are we healthy? Are we equal within our own community? Do we take care of our women? Are we equal to the women in our community?
But those things can happen at the same time, though. Those things happen at the same time, though. I mean, the reality is, I can be focused on raising my twin nieces, making sure that they have the education, they have a shot at life, while I'm also fighting white supremacy. Those two things can happen. And so me doing that one thing doesn't negate what I'm doing over here with my nieces. What I'm doing with my nieces doesn't negate what I'm fighting against white supremacy. But I'm sure as hell going to call out white supremacy when I see it. When I see the fact that you have nearly $700 trillion of a federal pension fund and black investment folks are only managing $100 million of it. When I see what is happening when black folks, black companies are getting less than 3% of venture capital dollars. And what we're seeing is a system that where white folks are in control. We're talking about Hollywood as well. We're talking about news media. We're talking about Wall Street. And so that system has to change because it cannot stay the same if we're talking about equality.
No, I totally agree with you. First of all, Niels Bohr said, and this was the astrophysicist, he said, you know, sometimes the opposite of a profound truth is not a lie. You know, quite often it's another profound truth. Two things can be true at the same time. I do not disagree with you right there. I am fighting white supremacy. I have had guns pointed at me by the police. I have faced all kinds of discrimination. But what I am also saying is, at the same time, as a black man, I am looking at my own community, my own life. All we can do is what we can do on a personal level. Because what you're talking about is a whole giant thing. But I think one at a time, with one person at a time, we can change this. First of all, COVID started with one man, and it went all the way around the world and stopped it. The same thing with a bad ideology and a good ideology. If we make sure, and listen, maybe I'm too soon. Like Bernice King said, hey, you know what? That's a bridge far, far away. Well, you know what? I called it. I see what could happen, and one man has to say it, and if that's going to be me, then that's okay.
But we talk about,
I do not mind not being liked. I really don't. It's one of those things where, hey man, I've been hearing this since I was 13. I've been that corny cat who've been out on the side, and everybody's like, oh, you ain't black anymore. You're Uncle Tom. I don't know any black person who's ever been successful that has not been called a sellout. But first of all, if you've ever taken a check from a white man, you're instantly a sellout. I'm sorry. If you're still getting your check from a white man, it's the system. Okay, sometimes you got to swim with the stream. You know what I mean? You can't swim against it. And all I'm saying is, when I look at BET or look at all these things are owned by white people. Why are we pretending that we can't even speak on this stuff?
So when you say,
I'm bringing up the conversation, and I love the fact that we can talk right now.
So when you said Black Lives Matter, what does that mean?
First of all, when I say this, you know what? The fact is, I'm called a coon a lot of times. So by other black people,
which is also a word I do not allow to use on my timeline. To me, that is a racial epithet. That's the same as the N word. And I make it clear to people, I will block you if you use that, because for me, you can't be a conscious black person using the same language of white oppressors. But go ahead.
But this is the thing, Roland. I'm speaking on my social media.
Right.
I didn't go on ABC or NBC to do this. This is my Twitter. This is my private network. This is what I do. And I'm being told to shut up, be quiet, don't say anything, just keep it shut. And you're a coon, don't say anything. And this is the thing. It's really weird, because I realize that some Black lives matter more than others, because they don't want me as a black man to talk, because it's any bit of because you're going to make us look bad. But the deal is, I don't care about how we look. I care about how we are. We have to really examine these things within each other. There's colorism going on. It's still the light skin, dark skin thing happening. And I'm trying to tell you, this is stuff that I have faced personally. And I just really am tired of actually having to be quiet about it. And I love my people so much that I'm willing to risk it all. First of all, I face how everybody loves to say that, well, he's trying to please the white man or whatever. I took on Hollywood by myself 2 years ago, all by myself. I spent $500,000 on my money. I'm still waiting for them checks from anybody else who said they supported me, because they didn't. And first of all, I and my wife, we all went up against Hollywood, and my career was over. It was done. And so I've risked it all once before. I'll do it again. I've been canceled for almost everything under the sun. I've been canceled for going to China by white men. I've been canceled by the LGBTQ community for talking about fatherhood. I've been canceled by many, many people for many, many reasons. This is the new day and era. You are going to be canceled. It's okay. If you have any opinion, I'm sorry, somebody's not going to like it. But I would rather have the conversation in this new millennium so we can talk. We can really open it up, because this is the deal. If you can't reveal these things that are wrong, we can never get better. We'll always keep that little lacquer. I realized on my own life, if I was not forthwith about my own issues, I couldn't improve. And this is what we have to do as a community, and even as the United States. It's not, oh, look at Russia. No, we got to look at us. You know what I mean? And the thing is, it's not, oh, look at that white man. No, look at this guy down the street who's terrorizing your neighborhood. I am one of those guys, and I'm black, and I can call it. You know what? I can say things white people can't say. And you know what? I can't even stop. What's so crazy is that I was repeated, and they put me on Fox News. I am not a Trump supporter. I will never go on Fox News. I am not for anything they are talking about. Okay, I'm not Republican. I'm not even into all of that. But the thing is that I do have a viewpoint. And when I can express my own viewpoint on my own social media and get told, stop it, pull the plug on them, I mean, what are you so scared of? I'm not on a major network or whatever. I'm telling my own thing, and then I go to work and do what I do. So these are my opinions, and they're my own. And if you don't like them, that's okay.
When you talked about how you've been canceled multiple times, when you commented on the situation of Gabrielle Union, did you understand why people were so angry with you and felt you were not being supportive of her? Have there been moments where you've given your opinion and you said, you know what, I screwed that one up?
Well, you know what? First of all, if you look at most of my social media, you will know that I apologized to Gabrielle twice. First of all, twice. I'm the wrong man to ask about AGT, because I do it for free. Let me tell you something, Roland. I love it. I have the best time. You said
I would do it for free, or I'm doing it for free.
No, I would.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm not doing it for free.
I just want to make. I'm like, I know you ain't working for free. I was like, okay, I got it. I just want to clarify that. Go ahead.
But what I didn't realize, and because as a man, I have privilege. You know what I mean? I have a privilege that, you know, a big black man on a set is going to be treated differently than a black woman. And I did not count that in. I should have kept my mouth shut. I should have just not said anything. And I should have just said, ask Gabrielle. But, you know, I was speaking from my experience. They asked me about how I felt. And I'm happy about the show. So I told it. And I had to, and then I responded in anger. You know, sometimes with Twitter and different things and different people come at you and they call you all kind of things. They were calling out my wife, calling her names, doing all this stuff. And then I got mad. And then that never works. And so I just totally had to revamp and apologize. And let me tell you, especially after the George Floyd murder, my whole thing was, man, we have to unite as a community. And I have to apologize to her again, just because I didn't recognize that male privilege that I have, just being a man. And so that was my whole mindset. I am not above apologizing, but this is the new era. You are going, if you say anything, you're going to have to come back and be like, man, that's my bad. I have no problem saying I'm sorry. But what I'm talking about right now is, hey, yo, I have family members that are different races. I have, you know, people that I call closer than a brother that are white, and that are Asian, that are Hispanic. And I'm going, hey, man, let's build this new world together. That's for real. And I haven't heard that. Maybe I'm not listening hard enough, but I am totally with Black Lives Matter and totally against the murder of our people.
You spoke about cancel culture. I mean, you spoke about when your LGBT critics came after you, speaking about fatherhood, black fatherhood. Do you believe that, just like with the issue, because trust me, I'm looking at my Instagram page, people like, don't have him on, he's horrible, sort of stuff along those lines. And bottom line is, I've debated white supremacists. I've had Dinesh D'Souza. I'm not scared to have anybody on the show. But do you think that part of the issue is that we don't create space for divergent viewpoints? So, for instance, when you mention the fatherhood piece, I mean, the reality is there are people who have this view when it comes to male, female, fatherhood. Fathers matter. Then, of course, you have folks who are LGBT who say you can have two mothers, you can have two dads. When that happened, did you feel as if they were silencing you as a man who is heterosexual, who has children, who grew up seeing fathers and mothers? Did you feel that was an attempt to silence you from speaking about your own personal truth?
I did. I also felt like, you know, I was speaking specifically to the black community and the issues that I've seen, and even in my own house. My father was very abusive. My father beat my mother senseless, okay? I'm talking about, and you got to understand, that when I talk about fatherhood, it's something that I always desired and what I knew I was missing. You understand what I mean? And I was really reaching out to people who understood what I was talking about. But then you had, with social media, you have other groups that don't have any clue, that can come in and just start taking it over. And I was like, I never said same-sex couples can't successfully raise a child. I never said that. They can. That's what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about the good that a father can bring to his family. I know what I mean to my kids. I know what father figures have meant to me. And this is what I'm saying. This is a personal move. But what happens is you go on your own social media and everybody is like, hey, man, you're on ABC. I'm like, no, but I could say this is a personal point that I'm making. And what happens is they want you to shut up, but they get to keep talking. And this is America. I'm sorry. It's America. There's a lot of people who don't want me to talk. But I want to even mention this. You know, the fact is this black supremacy thing was a quote from MLK. MLK said it himself in 2 different speeches, one in 1960 and one in 1961. And another time when Elijah Muhammad from the NOI in January 1961 met with the head of Ku Klux Klan in Atlanta so that they could agree on their differences. Let me tell you something, man. I don't know what to tell you, but if you got one group, supremacist group, meet with another supremacist group, I'm trying to tell you it's dangerous. It's dangerous. I am saying we have to look at what can happen, what can grow, and because everything can become extreme. Every movement that has started well can move into a very, very extreme thing. You can have a church, and then all of a sudden they flip out in Guyana and they're drinking Kool-Aid.
Yeah, but are you seeing that right now? I mean, like, what's the evidence of that? I mean, the reality is what I am seeing, and again, when I say I'm seeing it, literally, Black Lives Matter Plaza in Washington, D.C. is right outside these doors. I can take 25 steps, and I am literally standing on it right here in D.C. And so what you're describing, where's that? But where's that happening? I mean, I haven't seen it. Where's it happening?
No. Listen, first of all, you may not have seen it, but in my social media, in my world, I get called out all the time, Roland. It's like, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you at the march? Why aren't you standing here? You know what, brother? You ain't standing for us. You ain't doing this for us. And, you know, this is what I'm sitting here like, there's this public shaming that constantly is on you. They're like, what did you give for here? You know, Flint still ain't got clean water. You're supposed to take care of all the problems of everybody at the same time, and you start to hear it. And then when you say something back, they're like, it's never enough. You are not black enough. Now, Roland, I don't know what else to say. I'm talking mainly about our community and the way we deal with each other, we can't have these open conversations.
But here's the deal, though. But if that's the case, I mean, here's all I'm saying. If there for me was evidence of that, and I get, first of all, Twitter is not America.
Right.
That is a small slice. And you got trolls. You got bots. And look, dude, I got a show that's targeting black people. And I got black people saying it's not black. I got people telling me that I'm picking up checks from the white man when I pay white people. Like, so I laugh at it, but what I don't do is I don't internalize it and lash out. I laugh at them. And if somebody tells me that I'm not doing enough for my people, my response actually is, y'all can kiss my ass. but I don't necessarily see in this moment right now where you have black supremacy reigning. What I actually see are black folks who are seeing white allies who are saying, yo, we now can actually change this. And so I think that's why a lot of people are like, Terry, what the hell? What are you talking about?
I totally agree. First of all, you're not seeing it. You're not seeing it. I totally understand. But what I am saying, and hear me, all these are warnings. And look, it's too soon. Yes, it's too soon. But my thing is that I've been, there's very, very fine line between culture and a cult. And I realize that there are things that I can say and I'm immediately told to be quiet about because you're going to ruin something. And I'm going, wait a minute. I'm just warning about, because some people want the voice, Roland. That's just the truth. And I'm sitting here like, hey, man, I'm looking far, far ahead. Just like Bernice said, it's a bridge far ahead. And like I said, if I was too early, then I'll be the guy to claim I was way too early. I'm not seeing it either, but it does not mean it cannot happen, because I was told it can't exist. Like, it will never happen in America. You can't have it. And I'm here to tell you, in places like Cambodia, in places like Rwanda, in Cambodia, the Khmer Rouge killed people because they wore glasses. And I'm just trying to say, once you get to a point where you have to be all one way and no one can have a dissenting opinion, it's very dangerous, Roland. It's just too dangerous, man. We as black people only have one voice. I mentioned this on the talk. As white people, they can be Republican, Libertarian, Democrat. They can do whatever they want. But us, you can't even have, you better like the same hip hop I like, or you ain't even black. And I'm going, hey, man, this is dangerous, dude. There's a new generation that's coming up that really want to explore everything. I've been told everything since I was you can't ride horses. Black people don't do that. You can't do this because black people don't do that. And I'm really done with that. I think we can do anything we want to do.
Yeah, but here's the deal, though. I mean, first of all, look, we often say that. I mean, we say when someone says that black people don't do, that typically is based upon our experiences. And so we've all done that. We said, man, black folks, man, we don't swim. Yes, there are black people who swim, but it's a figure of speech. There are some things that you don't see a lot of black people doing. Look, I've been playing golf for 30 years. And in all 30 years, people are like, man, black folks don't play golf. And I'm like, nah, brother, they've been at the golf tee. And you have this long history of black golfers. And so for me, I don't necessarily, again, I understand where that's coming from, and I understand that in many ways that's somewhat of a figure of speech. But I do think this, and that because as somebody who uses words, as somebody who understands that words can be a weapon to fight for or to fight against. Words can also liberate. I think part of this issue, to be perfectly frank, is that the social media platform doesn't actually properly allow for discourse, in that when you type something, 100 people could be in this room right now and read that, and there could be 80 different interpretations of that. Right. But if I hear someone say something, I'm listening to tone. Yeah. I'm listening to, are they being sarcastic? Are they being funny? Are they being serious? Are they being angry? And you actually have the ability to explain something. That, to me, I think is sort of how I often see when I see a tweet. Because when I saw your tweet, my first response wasn't, Terry Crews ain't shit. My first response was, what is he talking about? Right. Which then which means I then need you to explain it, which then may cause me to ask a second question. That's what I think the problem is that you say something, and it's a short statement, and you know in your mind what you mean, but another person is inferring it in a totally different way, and there's no tone, there's nothing there. It's just the words just sort of sitting there, and it's left up to interpretation.
That's right. And this is the new era. It's the new day. I mean, everything can be taken out of context, which is so nuts. But do we stop talking? And I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to just, just be quiet and shut up. No. I don't think you should be quiet. Here's what I think Terry should do. Okay. Terry should make videos. Yeah. No.
Yeah. I'm serious. I'm being serious. Yeah. First of all, Twitter allows for you, if you upload it at studio.twitter.com, it allows for you to actually upload up to 10 minutes of video. I just think that a tweet, few words, it causes somebody to say, what? What is he talking about? Versus, now here's the deal. You might do a video and folks are like, Ted Cruz still ain't shit. They still, but it allows for you to expound on it as opposed to it just sort of sitting there. And that, to me, is what stands out. Because, again, you can have, people can infer any way they want to, and it can be all different meanings, and you're the author going, no, none of that was actually what I meant. Right. Well, because it was sort of left there.
Roland, I just want to say, man, that, first of all, I love my people. I love black people. I love who we are. I love what we've been through. I know what we've been through. I have been the victim of many, many racist, like I said, I've had guns pointed at me by the police. And so I could have been George Floyd or Elijah McClain. And when I look at this stuff, I am sitting here saying, listen, we have a tremendous opportunity right now as a people that and this is another thing I learned from therapy, a lot of therapy, is that forgiveness is the only way to move past, okay? And I know that, see, even talking forgiveness is real early right now. It is. It's really early.
Oh, yeah. No,
Right.
Because here's the whole deal. Okay,
Yeah.
'cause my problem with the forgiveness conversation, we saw that with Mother Emanuel. White folks always want us to forgive real quick.
Right.
They still pissed off with 9/11.
Totally get it.
So my whole deal is, don't come to me asking for forgiveness when y'all still mad at what the hell the Iranians did in Tehran in 1979, but y'all totally ignoring when we overthrew Iran and Mossadegh in 1954. So don't be pissed off at them with 79 if you can't realize why they still pissed about 54. But I digress. Go on ahead.
No. First of all, I understand. But I almost ruined my own life by not forgiving. I mean, I could be in jail instantly. First of all, if I'd have hit that white man that molested me, I'd have been in jail. You understand what I'm saying? That was years of therapy that allowed me to walk away from something like that.
Right. You better than me, because I would have clocked his ass.
Listen, man. I'm trying to tell you it was a miracle from heaven, because I could have killed him, and I wanted to. But I'm trying to tell you, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you today, Roland. That's the thing, man. There's so many things. Hey, man, I'm glad I can be canceled, because the other way, I'm in jail. You know what I'm saying? So which one do you want? I'd rather have this. I'd rather say, okay, you know what? Then, all right, maybe my voice is too big and I just got to calm it down. And maybe I should talk in another medium. I love that suggestion, because, again, things are too expansive for Twitter and the whole thing. But I have to say, I'm not afraid.
Right.
I am not afraid of speaking. I'm not afraid. Sometimes you just gotta, you gotta stand up.
Right.
And if people don't understand, this is why I'm on this show right now, to explain it even further.
I do have to ask you this. This is the final question. Yeah. And I keep seeing this. Folks are like, terror is in the sunken place. So when you hear that, how does that make you feel? That this notion that you are just in a whole other world and it's confusing.
My feelings are hurt. Again, I have a broken heart. It's okay. There are family members I don't talk to anymore. I mean, it's lonely when you are trying to do something that no one's done before.
Are there family
members?
I mean, because of this, because of comments you made, there are family members who won't talk to you?
That's very true. Very true. But another thing you have to realize is that you have to be willing to just live your life. This is the thing. You cannot control someone and love them at the same time. If you are trying to control what I say, you are not loving me, okay? Listen, Roland, you can say whatever you want. Hey, man, I love you, bro. If you said something that I didn't agree with, I'm like, I love you. But it's when I say something you don't agree with, and now you hate me, I'm going, wow. So you're trying to control me. And that is what I'm saying. Love and control can't exist. I love my people. You can say whatever you want, but I got to be able to say what I want too, and we still got to love each other. But now I'm getting control. I'm getting shut up. Don't say nothing. Sit there. You should have sat there and ate your food. Hey, I see it all. But I'm not going to be controlled. I'm going to operate in love, and I'm going to continue to love you, and those that love me will understand.
Well, Terry Crews, I appreciate you accepting my text and agreeing to come on the show. It's all about, look, whether we agree, whether we disagree, it's important for us, I think, to talk, to explain these things out. Folks got a chance to hear you for about 40 minutes to hear your perspective. And so we appreciate it. Tell your wife I said hello and stay safe in this COVID-19 world.
Love you, brother. Thank you, sir.
Terry Crews, thanks a bunch. I appreciate it.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
Folks at Ceek.com, partnership with us. Folks have these headphones, amazing headphones, and also there's this virtual reality headset right here. Of course, the headphone, 360-degree, 4D, amazing sound. You absolutely love it for gaming, for listening to music, for watching movies, you name it. Go to Ceek.com, Ceek.com, and use this promo code promo code RMVIP2020, RMVIP2020 right here. And so, folks, again, and so Mary Spiel is a sister. She is the inventor of this. It's her website as well. So it's Ceek.com, CEEK.com.